You mentioned a few times Cancerstories, and I have to tell the viewers that you've been very instrumental in helping us get that set up and developed. While we're talking about it, I'd like to ask you, you've met quite a few patients as part of the Cancerstories program, a few events we've had, and you've seen how people interact, the power of peer support in a way. What's your reflection on that landscape of peer support and what Cancerstories is trying to do? Because you've got a special insight into that, I think, compared to some other people who don't know what we're doing in this regard.
Well, Cancerstories, I mean, as you know, evolved out of your work with patients, where patients were, feeling isolated and alone on their cancer journeys. The other thing I have to mention is that, obviously, speaking to some of the cancer patients, they felt very strongly that they wanted a voice heard. I think that they wanted to tell it warts and all exactly what happened to them. They wanted to give positives to other patients while showing some of the negatives. They wanted, as I did, I think, to express a view that, it's okay to feel like that. It's okay to kick the door and say, why me, and get very angry. It's okay to shout at the television because, there's a war in Africa. Well, so what? But I've just been told I've got cancer. It's all relative. I think that, we felt very strongly that we didn't want people to suffer in silence, which is why we have voiced what we felt along that way. And I think if you look at the blogs as well, in the social media and things like that, people in the main are very, sort of interested in what goes on in other people's lives, good and bad, and it's out there. Nowadays, there's no shame in people knowing that stuff is going off in someone's life, whether it's being good or bad. And I don't think necessarily, the patients that we have on Cancerstories feel that, they want celebrity status. It's not for that. We're not Hello Magazine. But what they want is, very importantly, to know, excuse me, I'm a cancer patient. If you didn't know, this is actually what it feels like to be told that. And because of that, perhaps I'd like you to treat me in this way. And because some of the stories obviously are shown to clinicians, associated staff, we felt quite strongly that lessons may be learned from that in how you deal with patients and families. Bearing in mind, all those stories are different. They're as unique as the people themselves, of how they dealt with it, the positives they got, the negatives they've got, how things moved on for them, maybe how things didn't move on for someone. And it's all in there, the sad times, the glad times, the bad times, the good times. And as you know now, we've also got now people coming in who are carers or have been carers of cancer patients, giving their story as well. So, they will obviously add to that pile of information. But in the main, everyone is so glad that they can share experiences. It's cathartic for us to get it out there, but the main thing is it's a shared experience. We're all in that cancer club, whether we want to be or not.
You said something to me this morning that's made me think of something that's almost a slogan for Cancerstories, which could be Cancerstories, same but different. Because everyone is different in their cancer journey, but yet there's a shared thread in what everybody's been through. The threat of the illness, the response of clinicians, and how everyone tries to get their life back to as good as they can, but within their limitations. And although we're respecting the differences, we also want to hear about those shared experiences as well. And it's a lot that comes out, obviously, of hearing many people's different tales, as you're saying.